Meeting in Baku, Azerbaijan that was held in November 2023 welcomed the idea of formation of the non-aligned movement women platform. The president of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, committed to move the agenda of women and youth forward during the Kampala summit. The Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development, Betty Amongi, says she forwarded the Baku Declaration of the Non-Aligned Movement Conference on advancing the rights and empowerment of women to the newly elected chairman of the senior officers meeting, Ambassador Adonia Ayebare, to be integrated in the Kampala Declaration.
Involvement of women in the decision making and in the structure of this global discussion. If we are not on the table, if our issues cannot be articulated, then we cannot make influence in what we want. That's why we are saying, please ensure that you formalize the women's platform. Because once you formalize the women's platform, we will sit prior to the summit and be able to articulate our issues, give it to the coordinating bureau to discuss, to debate, and integrate it in the summit outcome document.
Amongi says, as women in Uganda, they want to take advantage of this NAM summit to expand the market for women entrepreneurs, mobilize women and girls through educating them, and to help them participate.
We are able to have them discuss, deliberate on how we can expand the market and have the rules that are not too rigid for access to that market, because you can have access to market, but you have very rigid rules to access those markets, which will not support most of our women entrepreneurs.
The executive director, Uwonet Asiro Roth, says they are to learn how to mainstream gender into policy agenda. She expressed a need for non-aligned movement members to work together and ensure that change of abuse of women are traceable.
Of discrimination against women and other groups continue to change due to the ever-changing environment, but also development. For example, the advancement of ICT, and also given the fact that patriarchy remains fluid in nature, some of the abuse and discrimination seem to be so subtle and disguised. And for that reason, we also need to ensure that we are able to analyze, to research, and ensure that the patterns of change of abuse is traceable, but most importantly, the strategies that we need to put in place to address these issues.
Uganda and other non-aligned movement countries are looking at having inclusive and sustainable societies that empower both girls and boys.
It will also be an opportunity to assess the progress that has been made since the 18th summit in Azerbaijan, and also explore innovative approaches to overcome challenges that hinder the realization of women's rights and gender equality. Also acknowledging that things continue to change within the context in which we operate, new issues around technology, around violence.
Accordingly, resolutions from the summit are taken to cabinet, and each of the ministers will be given a task to develop strategies to implement them. I'm Nafka Farida and Sana Anet in Kampala.